Hello guys, welcome back. So in this lecture, we are going to talk about debugging with PyCharm. And by the end of this lecture, you are going to have a clear understanding on how can you debug your code in a very easy way. And I should also say intuitive. So very easy and intuitive way with PyCharm. So let's get started. So here I have opened this file called demo.py. So this is the file that was already created in my project. And you can see this file has a string created. And then we have this function called print hello. And we have this main method here, okay, which basically calls print hello. So before debugging, we will add some breakpoints onto our code. Okay, so to add the breakpoint, it's very easy. So you have to just click over here, right, on this bar over here that you are seeing. So I'll just select over here and you can see I can just toggle the breakpoints, okay, or you can see the shortcut here, Control F8 for Windows and Linux and Command F8 for Mac. So on this line, I'll press Command and F8. So you can just toggle the breakpoint or you can click over here. So either ways, so I'll just add one breakpoint here, and I'll just add one breakpoint in the end. So you can add multiple breakpoints. And now we need to debug this code. So what I'll do is, so I'll have to run this code in the debug mode. So I'll right click and you can see debug demo. So demo because demo.py is our file name. So you can run it from here in the debug mode, or you can debug it from here as well. So you can see debug option here, and you will also see a debug option here. You can also make a note of this shortcut. So this is the shortcut for Mac machine. You will see the corresponding shortcut for your machine here, right? So I'll just hit debug. Now you can see in the debug mode, we are seeing this file running and it has halted on this breakpoint. And on this breakpoint here, it opens this debug window here, and you can see that there are a few variables that have been created here. So you can even see the console by clicking here, and you can also go to the debugger. So here in the debugger, you'll see the list of variables that are created till this particular point. So I can see S being created, right? And you can see S. I can also right click and you can see the different options, inspect, set value. So I can change the value of this variable here. You can copy the value, compare the value with clipboard. So if you have something copied onto your clipboard, you can compare it. You can copy the name, okay. You can jump to the source, jump to type source. So there are tons of options that you can see over here, right? And you have this second variable called hello world, which we are creating in the main method, right? And you are seeing that it's initialized with hello world. Now hello world, because we are assigning this, okay, S to it. So you can see this is what it's initialized with. Now in order to go to the next breakpoint, okay, I can hit on resume the program here, which you can see. So if I click resume program, it will straight away go to this breakpoint over here. So you can see, yep. And those two variables that we were seeing, which was S and hello world, those two disappeared because now our program control is in this method. So we no longer have access to this in this function. But in order to see them, you can click over here, right? So you can see there here in the parent scope, but here they aren't. So in this method scope, okay, we don't have access. So this is how you can see the variables from the variable watcher here. Okay, so this is called the watcher essentially. You can see the list of some functions here, right? So you can see an option to rerun. You have an option to resume the program. You have an option to stop. You have an option to view breakpoints as well. So if you're working with multiple files and you have breakpoints enabled in multiple files, so you want to see a list of them. So you can click on view breakpoints and you can see all the breakpoints here, right? And I can also select the breakpoint. I can expand this a bit, and I can select the breakpoint, and I can see the code as well where this breakpoint is added. I have an option to enable or disable the breakpoint. So you can see it's getting disabled, it's getting enabled. Okay, so I'll just click on close. Okay, there is an option to add as well. Okay, Python exception breakpoint. Okay, I just accidentally pressed minus and something got removed from here. So one breakpoint got removed, I believe. Yep, this one got removed. So I got it added now by clicking again. I'll just close this. You have an option also to mute all the breakpoints, right? And these are some settings that you can explore. So you can see some command as well here, some buttons at the top. So this is an option to step over. This is an option to step into. So I'll just click step over. You can see it getting executed line by line, right? So this is how you can use these options. You also have a shortcut F8 to step over, and for step into you have F7. So one more thing that this window has is something called as evaluate expression. So I can click on this button and I can evaluate any expression during the course of the execution of the program. So let me show you the power of this. So for this, I'll have to stop this program and I'll add a variable here. I'll say a is equal to 10, let's say. And I'll run this. I'll debug. Now I have this variable 10, and let's say I want to evaluate a certain expression using this variable. So I can say a plus 20 and I'll hit enter. You can see the result if you add anything to a as 30, right? And I can close it. So you can use this expression evaluator, okay, to evaluate certain expressions using the variables that are being created in your project. So this is how, guys, you can debug your code, and this is how you can make use of this powerful tool that PyCharm offers developers. You can get a sense of how powerful this debugger is of PyCharm, and you can do tons of things here. So it has everything that the developer needs. So I hope you guys enjoyed this class and found it valuable. I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.